Hey, fellow, we're an honest lot.
Everyone should have a good bow on hand. Which king would that be?
I don't know exactly.
I'll be glad to have a drink with you fellows.
That's precisely what young Petsker and me are doing here. We like to roll dice too.
Well, I'll be more than happy to play with you. But first, I need to know who you are.
No worries there. I'm Bohush. Me and Petsker here are just honest-to-goodness labourers.
Not that it's any of my concern, but you don't look like labourers to me. What's with the weapons?
Well, the roads can be very perilous nowadays, so it's good to have a piece of steel for protection, right? Luckily, it usually only takes a well-aimed smack or a couple of punches, and I can lay anyone out with my bare hands.
You smell of horse sweat, yet I see no horses.
Look, no disrespect, we may not be labourers, true, but we're no crooks neither. In short, we look for horses, for a very well-heeled mistress. But only strays, that's all.
So, horse traders for hire?
Yeah, something like that. But we're pretty bored right now, and we're at a loose end.
You say you're good at wrestling?
Oh yeah, I could show you if you want.
Well, I'll wager I'm a better fighter than you any day, Bohush.
You're on. I'll gladly smash you up and earn some coin in the process. Wanker! Try it again. Ugh, Christ. Yeah. Fuck you! Try it again. Christ. Oh, Christ! Shit! Not like that, for fuck's sake! You still haven't had enough! Ugh, Christ! Go fuck yourself! Try it again! Not like that, for fuck's sake! Fuck, that was well fought. Here's your coin as promised. We're even, right?
Nice fight. A nicer coin. Goodbye, Bohush.
Go! Quick! Go!
I'm done with the sheep.
Ha ha! Great! How did it go? Tell me.
Well, I scattered their sheep like you wanted.
That's perfect.
That's all I can manage. I hope it's enough.
You did great, lad. You deserve a reward for your heroic deeds.
Thanks, Oberon.
Don't mention it. You're a handy fella. But you could be even better, with my help, of course. They say I'm a good teacher. And listen, one more thing. We'll be meeting the Takovites soon to discuss the pasture they stole from us. I'd like you to come with us. If you're not against it, that is.
What could you teach me?
Well, I'd say I've experienced quite a lot in my long, interesting life. And now, in my old age, I have much wisdom to share.
Do you have anything specific in mind?
I could help you with your craftsmanship. You know, like when you're going to make something. I'm with animals as a child.
That sounds good. I'd love to make use of your experience and learn something new.
I cannot right now. Come back later.
So, what else do you have in store for those Takovites?
I'll tell you, friend. We're going to meet the Takovites in our pasture and try to sort it out. And if we don't get through to them, we'll kick their arses. Will you come with us?
Why not? I've already stolen a maypole and scattered some sheep.
You will? You're really in it with us up to your ears. But I reckon it won't be much fun this time. We meet in the pasture regularly, and it's always the same. I try to explain everything to Project, but he doesn't listen to me. The thieving thief! I suppose we'll fight then. Don't worry. When the Takovites see you, they won't want to mess with us.
Now, wouldn't you and Project rather make up? You've had the pasture split in half for years, and it's worked so far, hasn't it?
You're starting to sound like the tusk of a bailiff Thoris. He kept wanting to get involved. But to say the pasture ours in front of the Takovites, that he won't do.
But what if I talk to him? Maybe I can convince him to help us.
I wouldn't bet on it. Last time, he told me and Project he'd put us in the stocks if we keep bothering him.
All right, let's show these Takovites what for.
They don't deserve anything else. Come, let's get the others and get going.
Ah, the Geliovites are finally here. Didn't feel like it, eh?
If I knew I was going to get my arse kicked, I wouldn't want to go either.
You see, Henry? They're provoking us again. They're just impossible to negotiate with.
There's nothing to negotiate, old man. The pasture is ours, and that's final.
Bullshit! You know right well that I got smacked around as a child in that orchard right over there.
What do we care where you got smacked around?
Leave him alone.
Thank you.
If what Oberon is saying is true, this whole pasture really is theirs.
If, in your dreams, you're just trying to rob our beautiful town.
Beautiful, eh? The place is so ugly, even the plague would rather avoid it.
When they see the gruesome girls from Tarkov, even the dogs in the street will back off.
But the lads from Takov, they don't mind. They do each other from behind.
You bastards! We'll see who has the last laugh when I smash your teeth in!
You'll pay for that stolen maypole.
Don't forget about the sheep they chased off, them bloody Geliovite bastards. We spent all day rounding them up.
What are you getting so upset about, Takovites? It was just an innocent joke.
We're not going to take this lying down, are we?
Of course not. Enough talk. At 'em, fellas.
Hold on there, fellas. The first one to move will get slapped so hard, he'll get a second one from the ground.
Holy Mary, look at him. He's got arms like a bear.
Shut your mouth, mouth.
Talk all you want, but when he smashes my teeth in, how am I going to tell the story in the tavern?
Beat their arters already!
Let him have it!
Let him have it! Come again!
He's a disgusting
Thing.
He's got no chance at all.
Slice him up!
Get for bread!
Nice hit!
Yeah, don't spare him.
He was finished before he started. Quick!
Wake up!
I have to say, you really know how to give each other a right thrashing around here.
That's for Thor. You're not a real man until you've had a taste of the local pork knuckle. And you held your own. Help like that deserves a reward.
Can't say no to that. If you wanted to have any more discussions with the Takovites, I'll be glad to help.
I'd say they'll be licking their wounds for a while.
Christ, that stings! At least it stopped the bleeding.
Excuse me.
Good day to you.
I'd like to hear a good story.
Not so fast, young man.
I know quite a few stories myself. How about a trade? A story for a story.
All right, then. But if it's the one about the magic porridge pot, don't bother. I've heard it 100 times. And that story always leaves me feeling hungry.
I know a romantic tale about a knight, his lady love, and 3 impossible tasks he had to undertake to win her heart. He had to bring her the sweetest wine, tame the wildest horse, and make a crown with the rarest gem.
And then? What happened when he'd done all 3?
The lady of his heart showed her gratitude by giving him the most precious thing she had. And I'm not talking about gold.
Oh, a raunchy ending. That'll be popular with the lads round here. If I were you, I'd make it longer. To last a whole evening. Add a wicked stepmother, that sort of thing. It'll be a hit. And now, I'll tell you a tale in return. So what kind of story would you like to hear?
I like stories that can teach me something. Stories with a moral.
Haven't you heard enough of those in church? But it's not a problem. I have just the tale for you. And it's not one you'll hear from any priest. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Cuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, at the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, He began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, but Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
I reckon that was the right choice. Who knows who the silver axe belonged to?
Well, quite. Listen on. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth, so he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself, so he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one!" But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down whole to the dark depths, and drowned him.
That's so cruel. I feel sorry for Kuba.
Aye, and so did Matthias. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used the silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against the big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
But why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The Water Goblin's Pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink. Take care, friend.
Go!
lucky if it is just fate. Yes, way. Go!
God! Stand still!
Come on, then! Like that, eh? What? Now you fucker! Ah, shit! What the? What the fuck was that?
That can't be all. The bandits wouldn't draw a map for this. So that's what the map led to. I suppose the water carried the chest all the way here.
Whoa. Whoa.
I've been waiting for you!
Show your stuff!
We're going to gut you horse! I've been waiting for you! Fuck you! Take that, you shit!
Show your stuff!
Fuck you!
I've been waiting for you. Take that!
Mercy, leave me be.
God be with you.
What's up, Jungusina?
So what about the Voivod and his honor?
The voivode is satisfied. But it'll be sad here without Marika. Farewell.
So it all came to an end somehow.
Yes, but I'm not sure. I am delighted by it. Odad has what he wanted, but Marika will never return and my conscience is troubled.
Why? Because you helped your father?
Because my honor meant more to me than my own sister's happiness. I hope her and Bohush will do well, wherever they end up.
You said you'd share your skills with me.
Indeed, it is. The forest is my second home, so if you want to get to know it better, you only have to ask. Apart from shooting from a bow, I have also dealt a few blows in my life, and taken a few. So, I know about fighting from both sides.
Sounds good. I'll be glad if you'd share your knowledge with me. I'd like to improve my marksmanship.
A steady hand and regular breathing. That is so. Pay.
I'd love to hear some...
I would love to.
I'd love to hear some tips.
I would love to.
Whoa! Whoa!
Fuck
What's
you,
that sound?
What do you want? Fuck you! And you'll get another right away!
I yield! Mercy!
I'll rip you to shreds, you scum!
My God! He's dead!
God bless you, sir.
What's the purpose of the pen beyond the stream?
You notice the bloodstains there, eh? I let my hands practice fist fighting there.
And what's in it for them?
I send the strongest one to Zhelyov once in a while, to test his mettle against the locals. So, maybe you'd like to fight a bit too.
And can I try too?
Why not? Maybe you'll get to go to Zhelyov.
Of course. Winning some coin would be nice.
There you go, then. If you're good, maybe I'll even pay the entry fee for you.
I heard at the Troskovitz Tavern that you might have a job offer.
Well, you don't look lame. I reckon I could find some work for you.
I also heard you're invited to that big wedding coming up.
That's no business of yours at the moment.
All right. So what kind of work do you have for me?
You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
You don't have anything better? I can do other, more useful things.
Well, that's nice and all, but there's only one thing I need from you right now, and that's hauling sacks of flour.
Maybe you could use an armed escort. Maybe I could sit around here somewhere looking tough.
You think you'd be good at that? You don't seem very tough to me. Why not try something a bit simpler, such as hauling sacks of flour?
Do you really have nothing better I could do?
I do, but only for people I know already. And you're not one of them.
All right. It's not like I have much of a choice, do I?
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half-dozen you carry. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour, you understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Oh, fuck me.
Careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work. God be with you.
Oof. Bit heavy for flour. This is no joke. Fuck, that's heavy. What the hell is in this thing? I could barely lift it. This is no joke. Maybe this one will be lighter. Fucking hell. What a slug. I could barely lift it.
A new hand at the mill, eh?
I'm sweating like a pig. What the?
Have you got it done? I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar grain here, Miller. It's got a bit of a metallic flavour to it.
Kurva. Can't you be more careful?
Tell me the truth. What are you really doing here?
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the cauldron of knowledge sooner than I expected. You think you're ready?
Yes.
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. But we're only just scratching the surface. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
So thievery. Just like Peshek in Ratai. I should have known.
Thievery? What a crude way of putting it.
But a truthful one.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskovitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine. But due to an unfortunate twist of fate, ended up there. It's cold. The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. It's written right on it. You said you could do all sorts of things, so I assume reading is one of them. Am I right?
I can read. But I reckon that's the catch, isn't it?
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded.
Of course it is. And then you'll get me into Semin's wedding?
Aye. If you help me, I'll find a way to get you there. Miller's honor.
Where exactly should I look for this document? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskovitz rat house.
I can't help you there, but my hand Zinnik might know more. He had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got caught because of something else, and they took it from him. I'm pretty sure he's still on display in the stocks on the square. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he did, the guards will turn out your pockets. And it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even read.
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peeking through his chests. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it out for you? Black clothes, the play of light and dark. A quiet night, and those who live in the shadows, concealed beneath its veil.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothing and head over there after midnight.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Zhilyoff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
Pick them up? You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer before the main course? There's no sense in trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible to talk to.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed. I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Why call it the art of thievery? It's simply an art. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dream. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you carried the sacks to. You can practice on that.
All right. I reckon I know everything I need. Thanks. Would you know of any other way to make some extra money?
The only thing you can do in this backwater is steal cabbages. But go and ask those woodcutters on the opposite hill. You might find something more interesting there.
Why the woodcutters?
Just think about it. They've been cutting timber in the middle of nowhere for a pretty long time, and they get paid for every wagon they unload at the sawmill. They work all day long and don't move an inch. They have nothing to spend their money on.
I think I know what you're getting at.
All their earnings must be hidden somewhere in their camp. And it must be a lot of money.
What does Crazel say about that?
He said it would be obvious it was one of us. After all, they can see right into our backyard from their camp. But you're not from around here. You might get away with it.
I hear the hands spend their free time beating the shit out of each other. Can I have a go?
The miller sent you, eh? Did he explain how it works?
And how do these fights work?
Nothing to it. You put aside your weapons and armor, challenge one of us, and hop in the pen. And from there on, it's pretty clear, I suppose.
And who takes part in these bouts?
Well, the first is of course me. If you manage to beat me, you can try Malik. He ain't as fast as me, but he's got a stronger punch. And if Malik ain't tough enough for you, there's always Vera. He'd tear you to shreds.
Don't worry. I know all I need to.
We'll see about...
Crazel told me you'd show me how to do a takedown.
All right, come with me. So Crazel took you on just like that? Surprising. Crazel hardly trusts anyone. He's a smart man. So don't you even think about betraying him. That would end badly for you. Not to scare you, though. That's not what I'm here for. Well then, it's easy. Sneak up behind me and choke me out. I won't fight back the first time, so you should have no trouble. Just remember, you mustn't let me see you.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Bastard! See? And I didn't even defend myself. Try it again. Remember, if your victim is able to defend himself, you can still turn things around. But it will be a close call, shall we? Try again.
That was nothing.
Ouch! You took me down nicely. I didn't notice you at all. Nice job.
I want to try my hand.
Go ahead. Come to me.
Let's begin.
Not so fast. You're new here, so here's some advice before we get started.
I'm listening.
First of all, rich or poor, most folks carry their things in a pouch either in front or in the back. The front one holds keys, coin, and other small items.
And the rest is in the back?
Exactly. Now, this is important. Don't steal from the front pouch unless you're sure you know what you're doing.
Well, what if I need something from it? Like a key to a chest?
You can try taking it from behind. It'll be more difficult, but it's manageable if you're careful enough. Show me how nimble your fingers are then.
All right, let's do it.
Quit dawdling and get over here. Excuse me. Well?
Done.
Very nice. I didn't notice you at all, and that's exactly what you want. Now give back what you took.
Here you go. What now?
That's it. It's a simple art. But if you want, you can give it another try.
The miller said...
You look...
It's nothing.
You did...
Wait.
Did you really think we... Well, maybe...
If you say so.
Great. Jesus, I'm hit! Even my Nan fights better than you, and she's dead. Go fuck yourself. Who taught you to fight? Your mum? Nice. Nice. You fight better than I'd have expected.
Thanks.
But we'll see how you fare against Malik. Oh, yeah. And this is yours. Good day.
Good to see you, friend. Now it's my turn. Now me.
Why did you start with all this brawling?
Just look around. The mill's in the arsehole of nowhere, miles to the tavern and the wenches. Not a damn thing to do here but work.
So you rather let yourself get beaten up?
Well, I'm usually the one does the beating, see?
It happens. Just watch where you're going. What do you need?
I heard you have some clothes.
They're here waiting for him. Only I had to put them away in a chest in the loft. So I don't have to be constantly reminded of the debt Crazel racked up here.
Taking his bloody time, he is, the bastard. Those rags have been here for so long, the rats have got into them. Why do you care about them so much anyway?
The miller mentioned them. Said I could take them.
Are you his new lackey or what? Did Zinnek start to get on his nerves?
Well,
Look, I don't really care who takes them. They're a bunch of boring rags. But if you only knew how much work it was to wash out them particular black stains and sew up the burn holes, and most of all, to wash out that awful stench of rotten eggs, blah. Along with Crazel's debt, it'll cost you this much, including the price of soap.
ah, come on, Dorothy.
What is it?
Wouldn't you rather I got rid of those clothes once and for all? Don't you know they're cursed?
Cursed? What do you mean, cursed?
Well, I don't know how well you know Crazel and the sort of stuff he's interested in.
I know he's a strange fella. And suspicious, too.
And what do you think suspicious folks like him do in their spare time?
Commune with the devil.
And how do you recognize the devil?
I don't know. He smells like hell itself? Like rotten eggs?
Crazel has you wash the clothes that he dances with the devil in. Do you think it's safe to touch them?
Christ almighty.
As soon as I realised, I thought to myself, well, I can't leave poor Dorothy in it alone. If you give me those clothes, I'll ceremoniously destroy them. You and your girls will be safe.
For Christ's sake, how did it not occur to me? Here's the key to the chest in the loft. You'll recognise it by the pile of forgotten clothes around it. Take Crazel's cursed rags far away from here.
You can count on me. Yes! These will make me almost...
True.
What are you two talking about, then?
Never understand.
I'll have you know you're talking to the right hand of a nobleman, you nobody.
You? But... Sorry, but how is anyone to know that when you're dressed in those rags?
Have a drink with us, worthy sir.
Well, why not? I'll gladly have a drink. My name is Henry.
Then sit, noble Enrico, and give your verdict on our dispute.
Aye, don't be shy. Come and sit with us.
It's Henry. H-E-N... whatever.
Ah, any tanner or bathhouse boy could be called Henry. Enrico is nobilissimo.
Oh, for the love of God. Will you just tell me what you were discussing?
Ah, it's just that my dear friend George here is a vulgar louse who knows as much about the art of poetry as a baying donkey.
To tell the truth, my last encounter with verse didn't end all that well.
Really? Tell us all about it.
So, are you going to tell me what you're talking about?
It's about nothing less than the very essence of the art of poetry.
And also about the fact that Michael here hasn't got his oats for ages and it's got his brain in a twist.
Kindly ignore our friend George here. He's been a simple soul ever since he was dropped on his head as a baby.
Oh, freedom.
I figured out poetry ain't to be found in inspiration from the muse. All the truth in the world is right there in ale, roast pig, and fucking.
To the point where fornication and drinking leave no time for actual composing. Better to forego the pleasures of the flesh and give oneself to art. Honorate l'altissima poeta.
Aye, aye. Keep your hair on, mate. As I said, he's not in his right mind. He once met an Italian poet, and ever since he thinks he's Dante Alighieri.
Alighieri, you dolt. So what do you think, Enrico? Where should a poet seek inspiration?
Well, I rather doubt it's to be found in beer or some wench's cleavage. Those might be nice to look at, but an artist should seek inspiration in higher things.
My very words. Let's drink to that.
However you look at it, you, my friend, as a worldly...
and highborn...
clever...
experienced...
intrepid...
unique...
in short, just the right fella...
you might be able to help us out with something.
What are you after?
Enrico, we are in need of an adventurer.
My name's Henry. H-E-N... something...
In short, Enrico, we're in need of an adventurer, a man of action, a man of goodwill, a man of knowledge, a man...
a fucking good fella.
A fellow who helps his fellow man. Aspiring minstrels.
If only you knew, mate, what genius is sleeping in our throats. Songs just waiting for a voice to raise you to the heights of glory.
Imagine it. An ode to Henry, the hapless, hoe-wielding hero, harassing the heartless hordes of
humans?
That's it! Hark! Henry the Lionheart! The only thing missing for you to achieve glory is...
a lute! We need a lute!
All right, but where would I even get a thing like that?
In the words of the poet, una volta corre il cane, e una altra la lepre. He who seeks shall find, or something like that.
And finding it won't be hard. We've done a bit of snooping, and there's only one in these parts.
It's hanging all forlorn on a wall at the carpenters in Troskowitz. The house directly opposite the Rathaus.
It ain't no use to him, but he won't sell it, the tight ass.
While if it were in our hands...
In our hands, it will sing like a nun on Sunday.
And it will be the torch lighting our way from this provincial purgatory to the gates of Kuttenberg.
Torch? Shit, you want to fucking burn it?
It's a metaphor, you ignorant oaf.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Please just quieten down for a bit.
Good to see you.
What are you staring at? Fuck off before I flatten you! You'll be sorry, fucker! Useless! Bleeding, are ya?
Are you Zinnek?
Yeah, look, mate, I really need to piss. Can you let me out of here?
Crazel sent me. He's looking for some document the bailiff took from you.
And what's the password?
Hermes Trismegistos?
Just yanking your pizzle. You should have seen your face. They caught me at night when I was robbing a merchant, and then they make any distinction between what I stole and what I already had on me. They took everything, including that document, and locked it all away in the chest of stolen things in the Rat House jail. You could get into the jail from the courtyard behind the Rat House. It's right under the guardhouse. Or you could get there from behind the tavern alongside the fence. As soon as you find the stairs leading down, you'll know you're in the right place.
Well, who's got the key to it?
Well, actually, I had it, but when the guards shook me down, I must have dropped it. It was in the chamber, next to the one with the chest. They've got a pretty soft bed in there, I tell you. The key probably fell under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Every guard in Troskovitz has one. Best to rob one of them who's slacking off or having a nap. Look, mate, do you actually know how to pickpocket?
Well, I'm still learning, so I could use some advice.
You're in luck. You're speaking to a master. Of course, I am in the stocks just now, but that was just rotten luck. There ain't much I can teach you like this, is there? Better go and see Crazel. Take care, friend.
Oh, a nice instrument. Maybe I should learn to play it and become a wandering minstrel.
strings around your knees.
Good God, what?
I've got that loot for you.
Incredible! Magnificent! Fascinating.
You really got it! Give me that lovely thing so I can fondle her.
Such a noble instrument is just begging to celebrate art and life.
It's like it's saying, hey, with me in your hands, you'll be able to grab any wench you want.
How can you take such a fine thing and abuse it for vulgar gain?
Abuse? No, friend. Put to good use.
Can you even play it?
There's nothing to it. You only have to hold it and strum.
What's that you have there? Hey, let me see. How the hell do you... hold it? Ah. Oh, Anna has tiny tits, like a pair of cherry pits. Uh-oh.
Christ, no!
The idiot broke the strings!
What are you doing, you idiot? Do you know what I had to do to get that loot?
I'm sorry, but... mate, I best be off now, eh?
Fuck! Shit! You fucking whoreson! Your ma should have dumped you on the manure heap the moment you were born. What's gonna happen with that loot?
Use it for firewood. It'll burn nicely with that lacquer.
What? Henry, sick him! I mean, give him what for?
Your face is going to end up like that loot, you brute.
I'll kill you.
Kill the fucking barbarian!
Ha! Enough! Leave me be.
Kick him in the bollocks!
Had enough? Give up?
Yeah. Stop whacking me, will you?
Now get out of here. And next time, be careful whose loot you play.
Too bloody right, I will. I'm never touching another man's wood again.
Guten Tag.
I have ears. And maybe...
Look at this mess, Henry. That booze-soaked oaf broke the strings.
It's the fucking 8th plague of Egypt. What are we going to do?
All is lost. A dark cloud has descended upon us. We'll be grubbing dung till the end of our lives.
Farewell, Kuttenberg. Farewell, city damsels.
We could replace those strings with new ones, couldn't we?
Look, old pal. Henry himself is offering to lend a hand.
The hunter Vostatek told me once that he made some strings for someone. He can make some for us.
Vostatek? I know him. In fact, he owes me.
Really? Damn.
All right.
Too bad he doesn't owe us. Who knows what he'll charge me and Michael for the strings?
Sometimes the price is just too high to pay.
Especially when you ain't got a groschen to your name.
All right. I'll go and see what he says.
All praise and glory to you. May you and all your kin be honored for 7 generations for all you have done for us unfortunate artists.
God bless you. Careful.
Greetings.
I'm trying to get strings for a loop, and I hear you know all about that.
I do, but it ain't so straightforward. You have to sacrifice an animal for that.
You mean an altar? Candles, mysterious chanting and stuff?
Nah, nothing like that. You just have to get a sheep, find the thinnest gut, and weave strings from it. You can eat the rest.
I don't know how to gut animals.
Well, you're just gonna have to learn. Run along to the woods and bag a deer or a few hares, eh? You won't get much of any use out of them at first, but after a bit of practice, you'll get there.
And meanwhile, I'll clear half your forest of game.
You'd have your work cut out, lad. But if you'd rather, you can always buy those guts from a butcher.
Isn't there any other way?
Look, lad, I told you what you wanted to know. I'll make lute strings for you if you bring me the sheep cut. Stop where you are! We're after you! Don't move a muscle. You or
Easy!
your horse.
I surrender!
You're a wanted man. You're that brute trying to strangle people around here. You'll get a few good lashes of...
This is unbelievable. I'm a man of honor from a good family. And I'm in no mood to be negotiating with a peasant like you.
Oh, I apologize, my lord. I must have made a mistake. Let's just forget about this.
I'm looking for a friend. He's called Capon. I'm sure you'd recognize him. In fact, you saw us both in the pillory, didn't you?
Aye, I saw you. But I ain't bothered, you know. You didn't rob me. Because if you did, I'd cut your thieving hands off on the spot.
Well... What about my friend? Have you seen him since?
He must be some friend if he scarpered without you, eh?
I'm sorry, but that's not your business, is it? Was he here then?
No, he weren't. But I ain't saying I don't know anything. Just that it ain't your business, lad. And don't try anything on me. My business ain't your business. Got that? If that Capon wants to see you, I'm sure he'll find you. He ain't no fool, I reckon.
What do you have for sale?
What can you do, sir?
I've got that sheep gut for you.
I hope you killed the poor creature before you pulled it out of its rectum. Or did you chicken out and buy it somewhere? Not that I care. Wait here a while and I'll make them strings for you.
You silly doggy.
Only a blind man can't see it. Sigismund is 1,000 times better than Wenceslas ever was. I hear he's settled
God
in
bless.
Württemberg, and they can't...
I got those strings for you.
Shall ring out in gladness to their glorious sound.
We'll fix the loot and head off for Kuttenberg, fame and fortune. All praise to you, friend.
Right. I hope that's all you need.
If only, Henry, old pal. It's just there's still one little fuck-up. Friend, we have a problem. The innkeeper doesn't want us to leave. Says Kuttenberg isn't the place for us.
Can you imagine? He who never set foot outside his village wants to block 2 free souls in their path to fame.
And fortune.
And recognition.
And under the skirts of town maidens.
Beast. In short, dear friend, you must have a word with him. You're worldly wise. He's sure to listen more to you than to us.
Hang on. How can the innkeeper keep you from going anywhere?
Well, you know, he's incapable of grasping that the artistic soul needs to fly as free as a bird.
Aye, he's an
Ignoramus.
Besides, we owe him a bit of coin.
Well, why don't you pay him back then?
That's just it. We'd love to. We could always scrape together a few groschen.
But it's not coin he's after. He wants us to work off our debt.
Here it comes.
He lets you two drink on credit? How so?
Because he's a damn crook.
He knows we can't pay back our debt outright, but he counts every wretched sip we take and adds it to the burden we have to shoulder.
Well, why don't you just up and run for it?
And sully our honor? Never.
And also, the innkeeper would tell the bailiff and he'd come looking for us. We don't want to end up in the stocks.
Why do I have to be the one to solve it for you?
Because we don't have time. We have to concentrate on composing our songs, creating art. Art!
Believe me, friend, once we get to Kuttenberg and make a shitload of coin, we'll pay you back double.
Tell you what, tenfold.
I'll have a word with him, and we'll see what happens.
That's the spirit.
Let's drink to that!
Don't be a coward.
Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
We hold a fight club here sometimes. Would you like to try it?
I don't think that's really for me.
As you wish. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. And that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting. I hear Michael and George have run up a small debt with you.
A small debt? They owe me a whole heap of work, my friend. A month ago, I told them to dig a hole for shit behind the barn, and I'm still waiting. There's a privy there, but now it's full. The shit has nowhere to go but downhill. It's flowing down to the bathhouse. The other day, they promised that if I poured them a drink, they'd haul sacks of chaff to the barn. They boozed for free all night and swathed down sausages till they were as greasy as a cart axle. But that chaff is still out in the damp and rain.
Can't they just pay what they owe you?
This has nothing to do with the coin. Those two need to learn some responsibility. Damn their idle hands. Nothing can cure their laziness but labour.
So, haul some sacks and empty the latrine. And then the debt is paid?
Aye, but I'll bet my boots that even if those two miraculously got off their asses, they'd still manage to rack up another debt in no time.
What is it Michael and George have to do to pay off their debt?
Haul sacks of chaff to the wagon and empty the overflowing latrines. Once that's done, we'll be quits.
Couldn't someone else do the work instead of Michael and George? They'd just do a shoddy job anyway. You know them.
Well, they'd have to do it again then. I'm telling you. Until the chaff's under cover and the latrine's clean enough to eat out of, them two owe me.
Forget about those two fools. You're not responsible for their upbringing. A decent pile of coin could smooth everything over, couldn't it? I'll give you the coin for some hired hand to do the job.
Well, that pile of groschen will have to be mighty big. Cleaning out the privy's going to be a nasty job. Well, now, everyone should be satisfied. Good trade makes good friends, eh?
Show me your wares.
Thank you, sir. And come again.
I've squared things with the innkeeper. Your debt's been settled.
Our savior. We knew you'd support our artistic souls and save our mortal bodies.
May your name live in glory!
Your glory shall be sealed by the song we wrote for you.
Oh my god, what have you done?
Fuck yeah! For you and about you, our hero!
Definitely not going to sing those words, right?
Which words?
You know exactly
I'm
the
just
words.
joking. Right, you ready?
Can't tune the strings.
You've got one job. Good? Right.
When it seems you're out of luck, there's just one man who gives a fuck. A friend who'll never leave you stuck. Now who can that friend be? Well,
Ludiek?
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. Henry, reliable Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Oh, 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 oh.
Watch out, here we go.
Oh, oh,
I can't hear you in the back.
When you want to string your lute and trumpet with your back drum, who will pull a sheep gut out through the creature's rectum? Oh, Henry, we thank you, Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man.
His fellow man.
Henry, let's drink to Henry. He gets the job done the best he can. Yeah!
So, how did you like it?
Weren't we fantastic? I tell you, that lute really gave it a punch.
I'd say we were incomparable. Chi la dura la vince. You can't keep a good man down. The world awaits us.
Awaits us with open arms.
It was quite interesting.
Interesting?
I mean, I never heard anything like it in my life.
Ah, you want to say new? New and original?
Yeah, that's it. Definitely original. Maybe a bit too much.
Ha! I knew you'd like it.
Dear Enrico, thank you for everything. It's time for us to shake the dust of this God-forsaken place off our feet and seek our fortune in the big wide world.
Kuttenberg, here we come!
New life, here we come!
Now, hold your horses, fellas. What about my reward for everything I've done for you?
We've already paid you back, my friend.
Didn't you hear the ode we wrote about you?
Look, that's all very nice. But what about some coin?
Please, Henry, don't be so base. No gold in the world can match the luster of our velvet voices.
Just wait till that song about you makes the rounds. You'll be so famous you'll have to fend off the women with a pitchfork.
Besides, you've gained the most valuable thing in all the world. Friends.
Farewell, friend. And thanks for everything.
One beer, please.
God be with you.
Stop, or I'll ram my blade into your gut. I want everything you've got. Stop! You fucker!
Someone! Help!
Get ready to leave this life.
What the fuck are you doing to him?
You're no match for us, fucker. I've been waiting for you.
Hey! Come and help me with this bastard!
Fuck! Another one!
I'll be done with you in a flash! Nice hit! I'll hack your
I'm
ass
hit.
off! Slice him off! Nice! Let him have it! Nice hit! Nice! Enough! Honest to God! I'm the Blessed Virgin.
What do you think you're doing? And who asked you to do that? I had them right where I wanted. A little longer and they'd be done for.
Well, you'd be done for. Is that what you call gratitude? Go to hell. Next time I won't bother.
What do you mean, next time? Don't you dare cross my path again. You know what? Piss off before I kick your ass at least.
Bloody hell. The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Krazel's document.
Huh? I heard something.
Greetings, my friend.
I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
I even managed to get my hands on the key to the chest with the confiscated things.
Very good. Give that to me, too.
Well, I thought it might come in handy.
Come on. Give it here.
Fine. Here it is. I took a look at the document. I couldn't really make much of it. Who's this Hermes Trismegistos?
My fifth cousin. We write to each other sometimes.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Did you find my family tree at the rat house, too? Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes, of course.
What now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semin.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Not at all. I'll get you to the wedding as sure as the heavens are above me, and the fire of the Creator is within me. But you'll have to wait a while. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. It's high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I wouldn't be so sure, but I've taken you on as an apprentice, so I might as well tell you something. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices in theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem? What's that?
A golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. And I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
You're trying to play God? You know they could burn you at the stake for something like that. It's witchcraft.
Ah, horseshit. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on this golem stuff.
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget, you could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.